Hi everyone, welcome back. It's been a minute, but I'm excited to get back on in the channel and share some practice with you. So I came out to, been coming up to the hill, we'll call it. I mean, there's definitely mountains, but in Los Angeles, they call it the hill. When you're on one side, you're in Hollywood, and when you're on the other side, you're in the valley. And so I live on the valley side and haven't really kind of explored the hill all that much. And I recently have been getting out a little bit more, and I've got this thing called a one wheel, and so it's really easy to ride up the hill, if you will. So I was coming up last week, and I found this road that led to this path, and that I'm sitting on, and wanted to share meditation with you. It's beautiful. It dips down behind me into a big ravine in the canyon, and I feel like it's very important to get out and to experience the vastness of a view, if you have one. Could be the horizon, could be sitting in the forest, some way of getting ourselves into nature, and it helps to regulate our nervous systems. And so the challenging part is not nature. The challenging part is not necessarily getting there even. The challenging part is allowing ourselves to be there for a stretch of time. No pun, as we're normally doing yoga, but to be there and to give ourselves the space. And so whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, that could be the challenging part, is to give ourselves the space and to be. It's even happens with me. I've come up here and I have the full intention of sitting and having a meditation, and then my mind will click into some other essence of my to-do list and a task, and I'll get back on the one wheel and start riding down, and not spend the time that I even intended to when I originally kind of took off to get up here. So 'tis the season, and I think it's great to prioritize our practice all the time, but especially now. We've just gone through Thanksgiving, and I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Again, I know it's been a while since I've been sharing practices. This year has been challenging in many ways, and it's had a lot of adjustments for me personally, which has made it a little bit more difficult to get on and share the practice via these YouTube videos. I have still been teaching in Los Angeles and teaching the classes at the studio, but it's just had a lot of adjustments, and so the schedule has been a little bit out of sorts, and I'm hoping to bring that schedule back and to incorporate more videos here with you all that are subscribed. So thank you again for being here and continuing to support, and I hope you've been enjoying the classes, almost 800 of them that are on the channel that I recorded, more so during the pandemic. And I know the timeliness of practice is very important, so it's like we want to see where I am, we want to see where you are, and explore how we're connecting that with one another. So today, find yourself a comfortable seat. I happen to be sitting on a nice flat rock that I found, which will do. I'm outside. If you'd like to join me outside, go ahead and take your practice outside. I'll give you a second to do that. Otherwise, find yourself in a comfortable seat. You could use pillows, you could use blankets, anywhere where you're positioned with your head above your heart. And once you get into your position, you settle so that your hands can rest onto your kneecaps. And there's a nice, the palm of your hand has this arch and this curve to it, and then your kneecap has, when it's bent, when your leg is bent, it creates a nice rounded section and for your palm and to rest on. And versus the elbows, this is me holding my arms up and using strength. The elbows have a space to fall in towards the sides, the shoulders, when they're stacked over the hips, and creates more of a lightness through your spine. And then it all kind of falls into place from there with your head above your heart. Obviously, there can be sensations when you're sitting, and obviously can be thoughts while you're sitting, and we're not trying to alleviate either one of those. and through mindfulness meditation, but we're becoming the observer, and so that we can watch the thoughts and we can watch the sensations. And I always like to declare that sensation and sitting with sensation is wonderful. However, sitting with pain, and everybody has a different pain tolerance. I just got my attention drawn over to this very, very, very bright yellow bee. Very bright, very vivid. And so they're around. I don't know what else may crawl up from the hill here, the mountain, but if I look up behind you where I'm sitting, it just goes up into the forest, into the trees. Beautiful expression of nature. Again, there's rocks, there's the path that obviously has been, walked over many, many times, and then you have, which you can't see, but the whole valley, San Fernando Valley behind me. Beautiful mountains. And while Los Angeles is one of the most populated, dense areas in our entire country, getting up into areas like this, you feel like you're in the country. You feel like you're really removed from the hustle and bustle. And so they always say that it feels much more spread out here versus like Chicago or New York, where you're really packed in. And so if you've never been to Los Angeles, I would highly encourage and invite you to come for a visit. And when you do, yes, do all the things in Hollywood and whatnot, but you could always reach out, and I think there's a lot of really cool local opportunities that you may not hear about on more of that tourist route, but a lot of really cool ways to tap into yourself and to tap into nature. Another visitor, butterfly there. Hopefully you're positioned where you're going to be. You set your stack, hands on your knees, cross-legged, one shin in front of the other. And when you take a deeper breath, notice the feeling of that breath, the expansion that it brings to your torso, your chest. You notice where you feel the breath when you deepen it on your inhale. You may be picking up the sounds of the wind. So bear with me as, this is not anything that we look to control when we're in practice, when we're in a mindfulness meditation. It's the practice of the opposite, actually, and to not control your environment, to not control the conditions of the environment, and to see how you could sit and you can experience your center amongst whatever is going on around you. And yes, we're doing it in this beautiful place in nature, and it's quiet, and there's only one person that walked by me so far, but we're conditioning ourselves, and so that we can regulate our nervous systems and maintain our center when we're back down in the middle of the chaos, or life as it's moving, if you will, driving in traffic, being in a grocery store on Thanksgiving morning because you forgot something, whatever it may be. And you get to hold your center, and that's where I think you'll experience and be able to tangibly understand the benefits of your practice and everything that you're doing on a regular basis and consistently with your practice, because those types of things will feel and translate differently, which is really nice. Once again, go ahead and take another deep breath and feel that breath. And when we sit, we're actually going to let the breath be natural, yet we'll continue to observe it. You're welcome to keep your eyes open on one spot. You're also welcome to close your eyes. The idea of the practice, however, the direction of the practice, is that we don't want to be toggling back and forth. Something would be going on in the mind, and then you'd be attaching to say, I want to open my eyes now, I want to close my eyes then. And it could be a real practice to close your eyes. My eyes just told me, relatively in the short distant past here, that there's, bees. And bees, you think of a bee and you think a bee can sting me. And so if I don't open my eyes, or if I have my eyes closed, my mind may think about, well, is that bee still around? Or is that bee or another bee going to come back around? Might it land on me and sting me? And so right away, right? There's one potential challenge that you might face or that I might face in closing my eyes. And so it's not to say that closing the eyes is simple or not, but it is a practice. Let's do one more. Take a deep breath in. Feel the breath in your chest. And let all the air out of your body. And now you can choose if you're going to close your eyes for the duration of your meditation. If you're going to keep your eyes open, the eyes are softly focused on one spot. And if you need to make any final adjustments to your seat, allow the breath to be natural, and we can entertain the waves of the breath as it's moving in and out of your body, but we don't have to change it now. You honor the discipline where, yes, everything is endlessly changing and adjusting, but as far as you taking on the lead role or getting into the driver's seat and to enact change, then that's not necessary right now. The sounds within our peripheral hearing, for me, the birds, and you may be able to pick up on those sounds. And let that be a part of your experience. And there's an airplane, let that be a part of your experience. There could be the sound of cars, or even the kids, or anything else. Allow those sounds and to be part of your experience, and then begin to notice the mind and where your thoughts are currently and that you're aware of, and offer those space as well. As you allow yourself to remain seated, we identify the opportunity and to be in this place. And truly the fullness of our expression. We're not seeking anything outside of ourselves in this moment. We're not reaching for anything. We limited the distractions as far as devices or other ways that we can consume energy or information. And you should notice in that you're feeling more of yourself. More of yourself does not have to equal that you're feeling better about yourself right now, but that's what we're going to work through. If there's resistance, and physically, mentally, or emotionally, and by sitting with and acknowledging that the resistance or the tension or the discomfort is there, this is how we can chip away at it. And right now in this moment, by chipping away at it, you're no longer allowing it to compound and to create a bigger avalanche possibly into your being. You see it as a directional focus instead of a compounding and becoming greater. You're chipping away and you're giving yourself a way to lessen the magnitude of that energy or that resistance that you may be feeling. And already by sitting today, you're inserting that break. And some days we may need to sit and have several breaks. The more you practice, the more you'll be able to identify, and through your awareness, this is an opportunity to sit, this is an opportunity to take a break. But until you reach that sense of awareness, and create a schedule for yourself. It's something that is easily attained, I like to say, not something that's going to stress you out more. that could be 3 days a week. That could be 2 days a week. That could be 1 day a week. And then the length of time is also something that you get to establish for yourself. Not the length of time, again, that's going to ultimately stress you out, but a length of time that is attainable. And so you can feel entering your practice, being in your practice, and departing your practice, and you can get used to that routine. Let's give ourselves some space now. I'll stop talking. Observe the breath, observe the thoughts, be the observer. And when you feel the pull and you feel the push and you feel anything that wants to take you away from this practice right now, let's just make a note, put it in the file, and come back to it later. For now, we'll practice being. deeper breath. Sit up tall, please. As you exhale, release the air from your body, and if your eyes are closed, you can begin to bring your eyes back into the space. You begin to observe how you feel. This whole practice has been about observation. It's nice to show yourself through practice that it doesn't necessarily take a long time to feel things adjust in your mind, in your body, energetically, even physically. But giving ourselves the repetition of the practice is where we can begin to more steadily integrate the benefits of this practice within your day-to-day actions. When you're getting the kids ready for school, when you're getting yourself ready for work, when you're running and rushing a little bit behind, you need to alleviate that pressure and that stress. And again, continue to observe how you feel. This can go on for moments. This can go on for hours. You get to take this whenever you insert the practice and you give yourself that opportunity. You get to observe it from that point going forward. And if you're feeling it right now and then, an hour or half hour or so, it starts to feel like it's wearing off, you may come back or find a new position and do it again. And 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. And yes, you can incorporate a longer sit, a longer meditation. You could always utilize this as a baseline and say that you're going to move through an asana practice, which we'll get back into recording those as well. But if you're going to move into a physical practice, it could be a really nice way and to start and give yourself that room to transition and from whatever was going on in your life. And then from here, we could go into a movement-based practice and yoga asana, which I'm excited to share with you. I'm just finding these locations, and I love doing it outside, but also we'll do some obviously practices inside and get ourselves set up again. So thanks everybody for sharing the experience. I'm always open to your feedback. Thank you for giving me the space and continuing to practice with me. I just want to show you real quick this canyon that I'm talking about. So give you kind of a perspective here. And it's really nice getting up on top of everything that's going on down there. So that's the valley, and then you have this beautiful canyon. And again, giving yourself that perspective and being in nature, it really just opens up your eyes, opens up your energy, opens up that possibility for more space in what you're doing in your life. So thanks again. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.